My boyfriend Ben has been asking weird questions and expecting me to do things that would go against my plans for my own family. Things have been working out for me in the past few years, but this year has been amazing. I decided to cut down on my daily workload a bit after I got 3 accounts that are helping me reach some financial goals. I'm planning on buying a house for my family. I downsized my current living situation, renting. After my kids went to live temporarily with my parents for this semester, while I completed my certified training and graduated from my present program in uni. My new place isn't as nice looking as other places, but the price was a good cut from living expenses for me. I can both walk to the office, and Uni and I hardly have to move my car for anything. I'm saving money that I'm putting in an account for my kids. Ben absolutely hates my place. It's clean and in a relatively safe area. It's just that it's a mix of student area, old families, and traffic can get messy from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and some houses are simple and elegant, and some look like tacky add-ons. I don't care if my place doesn't look nice on the outside. It's not like it's an eyesore, and it's up to me to make it livable on the inside. I had two other choices. Choice A cost 200 less than my previous place, with access to a community pool and 2 bedrooms. I don't need more than 1 bedroom at the moment, and I don't really have time to enjoy the pool. Choice B was a bit lower, but about 45 minutes away. It was beautiful and close to the school where Ben's kid went. He did hint at it, but he would have needed to get on the lease and come up with the difference between this place and my new studio apartment that I chose. Also, living together is a major decision, and right now I really need to focus on my career and education. He said he understood, but he didn't take it well. He told me that his daughter was disappointed because she would have liked a nice place to hang out. Ben lives in an apartment. It's an average place with no problems or issues, so what he said came out as a weird remark. Fast forward, and he started asking questions. First, he asked if I would be interested in partnering with him for a business idea. I said no because I already made a commitment to self-fund my own venture. Second, I'm not familiar with the industry that he wanted to break into. Then, he began noticing things about things that I owned. I'm not hiding that I'm financially stable, but I don't spend a lot. He did notice that I've bought a few nice items and started telling jokes that felt harmless. Then he said that I was loaded and that his daughter would be an awesome protege. I stayed quiet, to be honest, because I think he might have been offended. But there's no way in hell that I would allow entrance to what I've built to anyone other than my kids. Also, he said that I should treat his daughter as very special because I only had boys, and she's my chance to have a girl in the family. His words. Don't get me wrong, she's a good kid. I have never missed out on gifting her nice and thoughtful presents on her birthdays and the holidays, but his words created a sense of discomfort and disgust for me. It felt like reversed sexism, and I told him, she and I have a decent relationship, but there's no way that I will give her access to my money if that means to treat her as my own. I know this sounds very wrong, but it's how I feel. She's not the kind of kid who's a bully or nasty or anything. But she's not my child, and every time that he asks for things, I feel like he's trying to get me to take from my kids to give to her. It happened again when I gave her a short-term weekend job. The office cleaning lady wasn't available, so I hired his daughter for a Saturday cleaning. She did a good job, I paid her, and took her to the mall to get her some makeup that she wanted, and she came back next weekend. When he picked her up, he started joking that she would start from the bottom and rise to be top executive like any other kid at their family business. I didn't say anything because she was there, but I did approach him later on and mentioned it to him. I tried to be gentle, but it was important for us to at least discuss expectations. His initial reaction wasn't what I expected. To be fair, I think he got nervous or embarrassed, but I didn't like his reaction. So he said something about me potentially putting her in my will. I'd like to clarify that he laughed, so I think it was a joke, but I also think that he wouldn't have clarified if I'd gone along. I simply stayed quiet and told him that I cared about his daughter, but it isn't fair to create any expectations. I've worked so hard to give my kids a better future, and it's taken me over 10 years, and the fact that he only sees the results without taking my past and my ordeal into consideration feels disrespectful. I also mentioned how he wanted me to change my budget and plans for a different property, while he knew that moving together isn't an option, and that he stayed silent when I mentioned he would have needed to pay the difference on the lease. Also, I mentioned that I would not make unnecessary sacrifices. Nothing else was said. He stormed out of my car and, this is why I feel like the asshole here, started walking with his hand in his pocket and a weak smirk. I had to drive slowly next to him to convince him to get back inside the car because I hate Dr. David Banner scenes. He looked like a kicked puppy. After I dropped him off, he has been sending me texts about being disconnected from what a blended family actually is, showing that I think his daughter is inferior, being a hypocrite and bullying. This has disturbed my inner peace because I'm just defending whatever legacy I have built, and having to do it against my partner just doesn't feel right. We talked about it, and he apologized, and I did the same in case I was too harsh. He said we could find some middle ground, and I was open to it. When he talked about helping him create a business for his daughter, I began to get angry because, again, it would be sweat equity for me. I declined because I did all the sweating I had to. But it was for me. And what he's asking just isn't fair. It's a responsibility, and I truly like to do things appropriately. I don't want to say yes and do it half-ass, and I don't want to work for free. I also don't want to mix anything between business and pleasure because it's my network and my contacts. And again, it could go very nice and well, or it could be a shit show, and I don't want that. I'm also concerned that he will ramp up and keep asking and asking for things. He said that if I don't help, he will feel like we will never build anything together. I said he needed to hire a consultant, but he stayed quiet, so I told him that he shouldn't place the responsibility of his present situation on me. He said that I'm probably blinded by my success, but that one day I'll wake up single and lonely. I asked if he was threatening to leave me, and he said I'm not acting like a helpful partner. I asked for a break and he freaked out. I'm just trying to keep my mental health in check because his constant asking and jokes have made me anxious. Also, I'm very angry and thinking that he just wants a handout. I texted him this morning asking to talk. I want to break up. He said he hopes I'm not planning on dumping him because it would mean that I just tricked him into a break. He posted something about his own mental health today. For deciding to end things? We haven't talked yet, but that's my intention. I don't see his kid as inferior at all. I just want to keep my money out of it. Edit. To the judgmental people calling me names for letting my kids live with my parents for this semester, only please enlighten me. Would it be a great option to reject good opportunity and finish my education to gain your approval? Right, because not doing my best to give them a good financial start in life is a better option. Also, where did you get that? I'm an absent mother. Did I say that I don't see them or spend time with them? To those who offer advice, thank you. To those who disagree but jump to, mothers should not do what they can to secure their kids' financial future and stay poor but at home. Thanks. Comments. Not the a-hole, you are not married. You are not engaged. You are not living together, but he thinks it is time for you to add his daughter to your will. He is taking advantage of you. Also, just trust your gut. He is giving you an ick vibe you should listen to. People here will have a million different judgments to pass on you, but the bottom line is that he does not seem to respect the work you have put in and the plan for your family. You don't say how long you have been together, but based on your post, it isn't long enough for you to want to blend lives and family. That's fair. And BTW, choosing to take a break then deciding to make it official is not tricking. You are allowed to change your mind any damn time you want. To not be manipulated, not the a-hole. I'm ready to be kinder, but not by much. Even IF, he just wants a blended family and starting something together. He's kind of expecting husband treatment before even talking about marriage. And he's also expecting the kind of husband treatment and blended family that'll make her sons pop up here at some point, talking about the moron. Their mom is dating, demanding respect as head of the household. Listen, I'm sure there's a woman out there who'll love his version of relationship and blended family, but original poster, isn't it? She's smart enough to realize that women often get taken for a ride when it comes to relationships, and she's doing good in making sure she's an equal participant for a partner too. So she's in no way unreasonable. They're just not compatible. Ripping the Band-Aid off is the way to go here. Update 2 days later. We formally broke up today, and he made it very difficult to focus on our conversation. He interrupted me every 5 seconds and was in denial for almost half of it. I asked to meet at a small restaurant, public place strategy, to avoid any type of drama. I tried to be respectful, but definitely wanted to bring up my uneasiness and feelings about his behavior. He tried to brush it off at first, but when I insisted, he evaded the subject. I told him what he already knows. My children are my priority as a sole provider, and I want to ensure that they have their needs covered. There were some comments on my other post that I had thought about but hadn't verbalized. Like, what would he inherit my kids, or what's his plan for his own kid? I know he doesn't have much, but that's no excuse. When I established the comparison between what he wanted for his kid versus what he would give to mine, his face changed, like I was greedy and he was insulted. He said my kids don't have a dad and that he can provide a paternal figure. This triggered me so much that I had to try and keep my volume in check. My thought is that being there like a piece of furniture in exchange for financial benefits for his own kid is acceptable to him. I would have loved for my kids to have a decent dad, but that's just not in the cards, and right now, I'm better off alone than with Ben. I was so angry that he kept asking me to calm down. He said he's leaving his door good knowledge on life in general because there are things that only he can offer since her mom is too secular, whatever that means. And I didn't ask him. I said that we needed to break up, and he immediately got upset and left our table. I thought he was gone, but he came back later and claimed he only went to use the restroom. I told him that I can't share any part of my life with him after he behaved like a gold digger, and that even if I was able to get past this, I would never even consider getting back together because his intentions are entitled and dishonest. All in all, I'm just glad that we weren't alone. He has high blood pressure issues, real, I've seen the medication. And sometimes I've suspected some types of mental health issues, going from 0 to 100 for things that seemed incongruent. He said he was truly sorry if he offended me and said that he felt tricked and betrayed. That breaks are meant for introspection and to seek improvement and not to abandon a relationship. That my actions will have an impact on his daughter because she really likes me. I offered to have a last call, text with her if he agreed, but his answer was no, damn you. You don't get to say anything to her. He said that I'm caught up in my new mainstream life. Whatever that means, it's fucking offensive considering that I've worked for my financial stability after a few years of things not being great. He told me to go suck on my colleagues' pricks, but immediately apologized. I told him I'm not surprised at his behavior since it shows me that he seems to think making love can solve anything. I also said that since he was being gross and vulgar, I'm learning just now that men like him are unfuckable. Hobosexual, handout seekers, and insincere. And that I will never date someone who is not financially stable, ever again, because this is a huge lesson. I wish that I could say that I had left him sitting alone at the table, but he left first. When I was about to get my handbag to pay for my food, he rushed to get his backpack and walked off really quick. I blocked him everywhere, but I already changed my locks. He never had a key, nor did he stay over, but I'm just being cautious. He called one of our friends in common to vent about me, and she ended up angry with him because he was very insistent that I had mistreated him. And she told him that she needed to hear my side of the story. She and I had a long conversation, and she told me that she can't blame me because our group of friends had been noticing the imbalance in our relationship and how he seemed comfortable including himself in conversations about business and success when, in the 16 years that she's known him, he's never gotten anything done. So that's my update. I also blocked him on social media and messaging apps. Comment somebody said, secular usually means not religious. I'm guessing that based on the rest of the picture you've painted of this man, that his ex doesn't respect his patriarchal rights to tell her her own business and manage her own finances. He sounds like a manipulative partner at best. I don't think you would have ever wanted him as a father figure to your sons. Original poster responded, thanks for the clarification. Commenter. Original poster's ex really seemed to think he was entitled to her life, her money, and her kid's future like it was part of some twisted inheritance plan. And secular being code for not under my control? Please. That man wasn't looking for a partner. He was out here shopping for a sponsor with a side of authority. Good riddance. Original poster didn't just dodge a bullet, she dodged an entire financial and emotional demolition team. Somebody said, it's wild how some people think relationships equal entitlement to someone else's life. You deserve someone who genuinely respects you and your kids, Not a gold digger with delusions of superiority? Yeah, I was pretty sure that was his real opinion about your success. The fact that you had probably become successful by sucking your colleagues' pricks. The way he was diminishing, trivializing, and trying to make your achievements pass for him. It is also probably what he thinks about his ex when he calls her secular. She probably is as independent and proud of her achievements as you are. And he can stand the idea that a woman is doing better than him. How ironic that he wanted his own daughter to profit from your success. He probably thinks it's the only way the woman can climb the ladder. Be careful who you frequent from now on, because there are a lot of people, not only men, who will try to take advantage of you the same way. Original poster responded, true. I've had people try to take advantage business-wise, like weaseling into business deals or piggybacking. Her mom is successful. She is manager at her job, and he claims that she used him and that she used everything she learned from him to get ahead.